Alright guys, this is Derek Okahashi. Welcome back to another video on moving to Hawaii with Core Team Hawaii. We're gonna do another set of viewer questions, so keep reaching out, keep connecting with us, giving us your questions. These are questions that either come from an email, a DM, or from one of my video consultations. So make sure that you subscribe, comment, like. Main thing, reach out to me. Our contact information is below. Question number one, what would be the best way for me to move to Hawaii and buy real estate, but do it in an ethical way that is respectful to the people that are native to the island? That's a good question. I appreciate that. I think it benefits you to use a local professional who has experience growing up on the island, etc. I think that's more of a benefit to you. In terms of how to, soften your impact or approach it in the most ethical way, each island is a pizza pie. You can only fit so many pepperonis and sausages, and if those represent houses, there is limited supply, limited inventory, limited land, limited parcels. And that's why Hawaii real estate is so expensive, and that's why it tends to maintain its value, especially over time and through market cycles. People want to be here. You can get some view behind me of what's behind me. There's a reason why people want to be here, and it's always going to be highly desirable. I really appreciate the question and the sentiment and the empathy that's behind this question. If you're going to buy a home or buy a commercial asset, it kind of just is what it is. You are taking one. I do have local people that reach out to me, and they'll say sometimes, do you sell to Hawaiians too, or do you sell to local people? And of course I do, and I think it's beautiful when Hawaii people get to participate in the American dream that is now part of the Hawaiian dream of owning a piece of this land that they love. Or they're native Hawaiian blood, or some other ethnicity that came in the plantation days and are local to Hawaii. I think it's beautiful and people can live here and contribute. So I guess that carries me into what I have to offer about that is move here and contribute. Anywhere you move, you want to contribute. You want to give more than you take. And in Hawaii, that's especially a part of our culture. We're a culture that's heavily influenced by the East, obviously heavily influenced by Hawaiian values, and we're also Western. We're the 50th state, but it's not like Boston, it's not like New York, it's not like Texas, and it's a different thing. If you move here, contribute, give, enrich, learn what aloha means, and live aloha. I mean, that's what you want to do anyways. You want to live aloha. You want to move here, jog along this ocean, swim in the lagoon, and get out happy and spread that. You seen those videos where one person smiles in New York and it leads to like a person smiling in France and Tokyo? I mean, that's what you want to do. Like, get here, throw the shakas or whatever it is you do, the peace signs, spread aloha, spread positivity, and just be a positive member of this community regardless of background. But I really appreciate that question. Here's another question from our viewers. Oh, this one came to me in one of my Google Meet video conferences actually. Where is a good place in Hawaii to invest? I'm only going to be there for 5 to 10 years, and I would like to look at places that will appreciate over time. That's a good question. Single family homes, no HOA, no maintenance fee, or maybe only HOA and no large maintenance fee. But on average, single family is going to appreciate higher and at a faster rate than the condo market. For one, supply and demand. There are so many more condos. There's a ton of condos in a dense area, heavily populated area. And also the maintenance and the building maintenance and the fees associated with that, the risk associated with that, the budget of the association over time. All of that stuff gets factored in, and for that reason, if you're strictly looking for appreciation, then I would look at single family versus condos in general. Now, there are exceptions to that. If you can get in pre-construction, pre-development on a building in KAKA'AKO or downtown, historically, that's been a really good play. I'm not saying it will be for you today in 2021 in the month of September, but historically it's been a really good play. I remember in our mid-20s, my friend Mark, he was like, hey D, I'm gonna take out of my retirement fund and I'm going to borrow against it for 6% and buy this condo. And it was actually a studio. At the time, I didn't actually understand it. I wish I knew then what I know now. Since then, I've obsessed over understanding these kind of things. But he made the play. By the time it was ready, like 2-3 years later or something, it had already appreciated more than 6 figures, right? So he made a really good appreciation play on a condo, studio condo pre-construction. That's a little bit of a different thing. And like anything, it always depends. In the single family market, where's a good appreciation play? In terms of places of where to invest, post-COVID, and this isn't unique to the Hawaii market, but post-COVID, a lot of these metro areas suffered in the months and the year following the COVID-19 whole situation. People didn't want to live cramped in tight quarters anymore, and now they're working from home, working remotely, etc. Where, you know, they valued having that 4th bedroom for the office or having that garage to work out. Post-COVID, the Ewa beaches of the world, the Kapaleias of the world right over here, these have been one of the best places that you could have invested in, you know, 18 months ago, because people are really valuing and paying for that square footage. In most of the common areas, the places where we've done all of our videos, Hawaii Kai, Kailua, KANEOHE, Mililani, Kapolei, Ewa, Pro City, Honolulu, we'll do Manoa eventually, we did Diamond Head. Like, those areas see a pretty similar appreciation rate over time, and I don't think you can go wrong. I think you should probably choose where's going to be best for your lifestyle, assuming you're going to be living there. If you're moving here to live in Hawaii, to live on the island, then let's talk about what's going to make sense for you in terms of the schools that you're targeting for your kids, your commute to work if there is one, proximity to shopping or beaches or whatever may be important to you. We're going to focus on those things because it can be really hard to predict appreciation neighborhood by neighborhood. Hawaii is not going out of style. This island as a whole is not going out of style. There is some speculation. Ocean Point, Ho'akalei play and Ewa Beach is a very good appreciation play because you can see the marina that they're building. There's plans to have shops, condo buildings next to the marina, homes where you can dock your yacht. West Oahu is now up and running on the side of the island and expanding. Kapolei is considered the second city. So the Kapolei Ewa Beach thing, the rail is now starting to connect Kapolei to Honolulu, if it ever gets finished and if it works. There are people that speculate, and you hear people say that's going to be the next Hawaii Kai. That's going to be the next, you know, marina living type of area. Is it? We'll see what it looks like in the end. I don't think you could go wrong over a long period of time. There's a saying in real estate, it's not timing the market, it's time in the market. And in Hawaii, that's always proved to be a safe play. Over 10 years plus, time in the market, it's really hard to find someone who's lost money in this market. And we're gonna make a whole video about investing, what that'll mean for you if you're exiting in 3 years versus 6 years versus 10 years. And then one other place that you hear speculation about appreciation is Makaha. In our Waianae video, which we'll link in the show notes like we always do, in Waianae, supposedly Tiger Woods is developing this big golf course in Makaha Valley, and people are excited about it. Might it be the better 20-year play? Maybe. Because that side of the island is some of the lowest priced real estate right now anyways, it could be such that over a 20-year period, there's more opportunity to gentrify. I think if you're planning to live here, we're primarily focused on what's going to work for you and your lifestyle, or even if, you know, you're going to be living here half the year, something like that. We're going to talk about if you're working from home, if you need the square footage, if you're only going to be here 4 months of the year, if you really want this kind of ocean proximity. Those things are going to take priority over your appreciation play because it's too hard to predict over time. Remember, time in the market and you generally win. Number 3, where are some of the best neighborhoods to live when working from home? I am in California and considering moving to Hawaii. My job will let me work remotely, so I will not have to commute. I love this question. Thank you for asking. Are you single and you want to work from home? The person in the question didn't mention whether they're single or bringing a family or whatnot. I think if you're working from home, you probably really value square footage. So you're trying to look for a place that has better price per square foot. You know, if you're not worried about school districts and you just, you know, that doesn't matter to you, you might be able to find a really nice place on the ocean or in a place that you may not otherwise live. Recently, we have a guy, Sam Wayne, I'm forgetting someone, I apologize. But a couple people that were reaching out asking this question, right? Like, I'm gonna be working from home mostly, where should we live? And we were looking at KANEOHE Kailua. You know, I challenged, I said, hey, if we were moving to the Bay Area, so if I were putting you in Oakland, San Francisco area, would you necessarily need to live in like Palo Alto to work from home? Or might you take advantage and move out to Morgan Hill in the Bay Area? Or if you're in Chicago, I'm sure this applies in the suburbs. If you're in Scottsdale, Arizona, or, you know, I'm sure it applies as well. New York, wherever. Do you really need to live in this certain area that you've known to be, you've come to find highly desirable. But if you have no kids and you're working from home, you don't have to commute. Do you need to live here, and what are the motivations for living here? And in this situation, it was, I don't know, I just heard of KANEOHE and Kailua and we really like it. We came there before and we liked it. That's cool. But let me show you a couple of different areas. So if you don't have to commute, maybe you check out Waialua. You have some, great proximity to the ocean, a little more peaceful, mountains, hikes, surf culture, all of that stuff. And you don't have to worry about commuting all the way to town. Maybe it's Makaha Valley. Speaking of commutes, a lot of the times real estate's more expensive is because it lessens people's commute, because most people are commuting. If you're working from home, maybe you go all the way down there to the west side at the end of Makaha and Makaha Valley, or on the beach in Makaha. You want that beachfront property. You don't quite have the money to spend that you would need in like Kahala, Hawaii Kai to get beachfront. And so maybe you go to Makaha because you're not having to deal with that commute, which is the worst commute on the island. North of KANEOHE, all the way around to the North Shore, there's some really cool spots too. And if I didn't have to commute, I would certainly consider like Haula, Laie, places like that. Really like what we call country in Hawaii, like really country kind of places. If you had the 8 to 5 in Honolulu, you might not want to live there, but working from home could be a pretty cool spot. Hey Derek, I'm wondering where the best place to live would be for my wife and I. She really likes cool weather, but I do not like the rain. I don't mind it sunny, but she would prefer something cooler. I see that you mentioned in your videos Mililani tends to be cooler. Is there a place where we could get slightly cooler weather and not have to deal with the rain? So you want cooler weather like Mililani where I live, but you don't want the rain like Mililani where I live. Same with KANEOHE, Kailua. The windward side tends to be a little cooler, but you're definitely gonna deal with the rain. I think when people think of cooler weather on the island, where do you think? Okay, wait. He's gonna say Wahiawa and Mililani. Central. And east, right? What do you think the coldest place on the island is?
Makakilo.
Makakilo. So you would say Makakilo before Mililani?
Upper Makakilo.
Because you're from this side. So when I think about cooler places on the island, I'm thinking Wahiawa for sure. Wahiawa is the place where, they have chimneys in the older houses and stuff. There's some other places. Really anywhere where there's elevation. The windward side is generally cooler on average, I think because it's also a lot of the times more overcast and windier. But you're definitely going to deal with that rain. So if you live in KANEOHE, you're just used to moisture. The wood on your house having a little bit of mold on it and stuff is just kind of normal to you if you live in certain parts of KANEOHE, like Ohui Manu or things like that. So if I'm trying to get cool but dry, Makakilo. Any place where you're going to get elevation, dealing with that windward funnel. So Mililani is, highly elevated, but coming over the east side mountains, it funnels right into the valley that is Mililani Mauka, Launani Valley, which we just mentioned on our Schofield video. So I'm going to go Makakilo for cool but dry. Probably like Wilhelmina Rise, where we went on our Diamond Head video, right? Any place way up on the mountain. But you are, when you get towards the mountains and towns, so the Manoas, like Manoa Valley, Nu'uanu, going up the Pali, Kalihi Valley. These places, the moisture, they're still catching some of that moisture from the windward side. So St. Louis Heights, Aina Haina, New Valley, Hawaiiloa Ridge, south to southeast, mountain towns. That's what, either there or Makakilo. They want dry and cool. Makakilo is the one. Makakilo is the epitome. Good question. Hey Derek, my wife and I will be moving there. We're looking to rent first and then we may consider buying. Do you help renters or do you help renters that may be buyers? Yes and no. For the most part, yes. Anyone who's moving to Hawaii, anyone who has questions about Hawaii real estate, be that renting or buying. Now our primary goal and our primary focus is helping people buy and sell real estate in Hawaii. With that being said, because there are so many people looking to rent and there are so many renters on this channel or renters that will be buyers, we are in the process of developing a program that allows us to help renters. I mentioned my friend that invested in the condo in town, pre-construction. Well, he lives in Miami now. I have another referral partner in Miami. Michael, if you're watching this, what's up? In Miami, you kind of need a realtor, and there's some other places like that. They want you to have a realtor, and therefore, since the listing agent or the landlord or property manager, since that side expects an agent to be coming, they offer some compensation. Now, it's not that we're only in it for the money. As you can imagine, we have a lot of people who need our help and want our help. But if we were to only do renters all day, every day, unfortunately, my kids would be missing out on meals. Like we wouldn't be able to earn a living. Now that might be good for me, but my kids need to eat, right? We are developing a program that allows us to help renters or future buyers coming to Hawaii. Stay tuned for that. It's in the works right now. We just started writing it. We're probably going to change the game on this island with this program, actually. I literally think the whole island over years will change because of what we're doing with this rental program. Don't not reach out to us because you're not buying. We do want to connect with you. Just let us know what your goals and timelines are, and we look forward to seeing if it's a good fit. Thank you guys. That was another video with Derek Okahashi and Core Team Hawaii on moving to Hawaii. Those are viewer questions. Again, reach out to us, guys. We want to connect with you. I just got a call yesterday, or I should say I got a request, and then I called them back yesterday. The request came in the day before. They said, hey, we're gonna be moving to Hawaii in anywhere between 6 and 18 months. So that was Jasmine and Albert out in Colorado. What's up, guys? Thank you guys for reaching out. They may not be moving for a year, but we reached out, we talked about their goals, gave them some good information, learned some good information about them. And here's the thing, we do a lot of business on the island. So as opportunities come up, off-market opportunities, you know, you want a very specific thing, like a certain view in Makakilo. There's only so many of those houses. So if you're thinking about it over a year, if one of those opportunities comes through my network, it'd be best if I knew earlier. So anyways, that's my pitch. You ask a dentist if you need a cleaning, they're gonna say yes. You ask me if you should reach out to talk about your Hawaii real estate goals, I'm gonna say yes. So I look forward to connecting with you guys. Our information is below, so go to the website, fill out the contact form, slide in my DMs, whatever it is that fits you best. Like, comment, subscribe, let us know you're out there. We're gonna keep producing this content, and let us know what you guys wanna see next. Thank you guys for watching this video. Really appreciate it. As always, I'm gonna go swim.